He's online. I didn't see him.
That's
No,
fine.
he's not on.
We can just go ahead and show must continue.
Online, yeah.
So, alright. Thank you for everyone joining me for our 31st Town Hall meeting. The last one was actually March 5th. So
Yeah.
we've kind of...
That's a while ago.
we fell off the wagon a little bit, but it's okay. The game got a little stale and we were all doing our own thing. Private had almost no interest in doing these, so that's why Rev's running the show now. So I'm doing this. So the purpose of these meetings is to get more Ravens involved that want to be involved with our community. A couple of things on these meetings and how they'll be conducted. When one person has the floor, they're to be the only one speaking. If a person has background noise, please mute your mic unless you're the one speaking, or I will kick you. Just kidding, but I will though. Anyway, once a person's finished speaking, please make it known that you're finished. If you're directing a specific question to a person, then name the person before your question. If you want to answer the question that's not directed to a specific person, then please state your name and say that you would like to answer the question or concern. There are no stupid questions, especially now Destiny 2 just came out. So please be respectful and courteous. If you are unable to speak politely, then you'll be asked to leave the meeting. For the individuals watching the stream, please hold questions until I open the floor for questions, comments, and concerns, and they'll be answered in the order they are received. I'm not going to let you guys know what we're going to be talking about, but we'll get there when we get there. First order of business. New Ravens. And by God, they aren't really new now because they've been here for 6 months. Some of them anyway. But they never got there. You guys are new. So, alright, hold your applause until I'm done with all the names. We got the names Jeff. It was actually Christiamp, but, you know, we got his name in there anyway. Orcus 71. Red 42 Dragon. Enough Plays. Crossbox 1. P Boogie 02. Vantage Warrior 97. Dradget. Castiel 501. Kitsu Links. Warlock 925. And he's gone, so I'm not going to say that name. Zombie King 963. Zach James. Peachaz, Alan Wrighton, and the Trooper. All right. So, yeah, I know we got a lot of people. Oh, and Roberts JF. Yep, had to scroll down, but that's in a nutshell. And speaking of recruitment, I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out because it's already one of the things that a lot of Ravens and people are asking about. We keep getting emails saying, "Hey, I applied. Where's my invite? You know, it's been more than 2 days." Well, Private and we get busy. And we've already gotten a few fledglings, and like we said, when it's first come, first served basis, when you apply to the clan, we get the applications that come in first, and we get them in. So right now, we have 11 to 13 different applicants already in, trying out, and we only have a set amount of spots. Once we hit our cap, we won't be taking any more applications, but when people start falling off, or people start leaving for their own personal reasons, we'll go ahead and move people in as their applications have gotten in. So go ahead and tell your friends to sit tight. We'll get to them when we can. We're sorry, but you know, nothing's going to stop them from trying to jump into parties and getting to know Ravens. I mean, get a jump on things. Start playing with folk, even if you're not a fledgling. Just join in. Just let people know, hey, I'm a friend of so-and-so, you know. Just jump in. Let us get to know you before your 2 weeks. That's a good start. So, actually, the first thing besides all that recruitment BS, right, is Destiny 1 Remembrance and Memories. So I'm sure most of you guys saw it whenever you guys popped in Destiny 2 and actually got past the insane and crazy load screen. Was the, hey, here's your first memories of Destiny 1, like the things that you've completed with certain people, what date, people that are no longer around, people that are still around, oddly enough, even though you want them to leave. So what's some things that you guys remember from the Destiny 1 that you'll miss? I mean, besides your gear, obviously.
That's a really good question.
Yeah, Val, why don't you start, since you open your mouth first.
There's a lot of people that I haven't played with since I started Destiny 1. I don't know if everyone here started on day 1, but I know I did, and I don't know, those memories are really cool. One, I don't even remember half the people I completed half the shit with when I first started on those memories, which was, you know, just realized how much, you know, things changed, which was pretty cool. Me and Frost did, I think, Dark Below, and I think that's when I first started playing with him, so that was pretty dope.
Damn.
But yeah, it's been downhill ever since I met him, though. Damn.
Yeah, right?
I don't know. I just liked all the old shit that we used to do that didn't make any sense, and it sure as hell doesn't matter anymore because all this awesome stuff that's out now, like,
yeah,
I don't know, good memories, but that's all they are. I really like making the new ones now.
Exactly.
And that's what's important.
Exactly. What about you, Solar? Let's keep this circle going.
I don't know that there's anything that I necessarily missed from Destiny 1, except for, I kind of missed Coda a little bit.
Oh, really? Just the raid?
Yeah. I think one thing that I noticed a lot, though, in the memories was, I need to branch out with the people I play with because everybody that was in my memories is still around. I've got Jfire and Skittle and Laser and Draco, Roy, Private. You guys were all like my first groups. There was like one memory I think that I had that had
no one
ex-Ravens that aren't here anymore. But for the most part, it's all my memories. I think that's kind of why I stick with people though, because I'm just used to that play style. Like you can go into a strike with them and be like, oh, I know how they're gonna react to this, or I know how they're gonna react to that. Or you can go into a raid and you're like, oh, well, I know that this person is going to want to do this, and this person is going to want to do this. But at the same time, I'm like, I have like, we have a clan of almost 100 people, and there's like 20 people that I play with on a regular basis.
You got to do something about that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to sound like Private right now.
I've been doing better since Destiny 2, though. I've been trying to jump into other parties and fire teams and stuff, so.
Right. Jfire, what about you, bud?
Alright, so, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bud.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Alright, cool. So, make sure you guys can. So, what did I miss about D1? D1, I think Dinklebot is what I missed the most. So, his voice alone and his, like, persona of the original Dinklebot was what made Destiny when I first came in. And so I missed the hell out of that. Obviously, I started on an Xbox. I had a pretty unique situation with Destiny. And, of course, Solar, you know, she brought me over into PS4 world and at the Ravens and got with you guys. And it's been over 2 years since I joined you guys, but I've played Destiny since Beta 1. But yeah, I think I missed a lot of the original stuff. I missed the original light levels and everything else like that. After, I think, the first 8 months, when I started kicking it, I just really was starting to go downhill with it. But you guys made it a lot more fun. You know, and I love it with the Ravens ever since. I have played with so many people. I will just jump in random places and just try to play with whoever I can. My memory, though, I will have to say, is the amazing raid race we had. It was, I think it, to this day, was one of the only ones we ever had when we had that many people in one spot. And we had an absolute blast with it.
Yeah.
That was my favorite memory.
Those were fun.
Mhm. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
intense.
the
That was
original
definitely
vlog
one for the books. I think we had 30. No, we had 24 people.
About
It was
30.
4 teams
Yeah.
of 6.
We had 4 full teams,
4
yeah.
full teams.
And they were super close. Like, I
Oh,
remember it was just like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, dude. It was
Hopefully, you know, obviously D2's out, so, you know, obviously we've all been playing it, but I'm hoping that once everybody gets comfortable with the new one, we'll be able to do it. But this one's going to be tough, man.
nuts. Yeah.
Right?
Habeda, what about you, bud? And after you will get ripped.
Yeah, well, for the most part, D1 I was playing solo. Didn't really have a clan for the first 1.5, 2 years. Then I joined Allegiance, but that wasn't too enticing too. So I was hanging out with randos a lot. And on all the flashbacks at the beginning of D2, I was like, I only recognized 1 or 2 names maybe. One of the best memories from D1 I've got is with a guy I met randomly again. He's called Icegard, no idea how it's pronounced.
Right.
Well, I met him at Crimson Doubles, which is very romantic.
Very romantic.
And yeah. Just as it started, I didn't have a partner. He didn't either. We met each other in a group, and I was like, "Hey, you got time later on? I want to play some Crimson Doubles." And he was, "Yes, why not?" And we were playing for a few hours, one or 2 days, and we had great fun, like just running around, killing people, insulting each other, making fun of each other, like what shit they're playing. The good kind of insulting.
Yeah.
Until I didn't really get why everybody hated on Crimson Doubles that much. I was having a blast with them. But that's basically it for my fondest D1 moments, except for maybe getting the new raids, trying to get them as quickly as possible and everything.
Right. Okay. What about you, Rip?
Well, I don't know if you were present. I know
I'm always there, buddy.
Inaki, Wig Splitter, Nama. I'm not sure who the other 2 people were my first real raid from beginning to end, and it was Kingsfall, and boy oh boy was that a nightmare for me. It's like the patience exhibited by Nama and Inaki at the time was like, wow, these guys are something. But yeah, as we grew, as I also grew with the Ravens, it was great to meet people, and then you obviously connect with people, and you play well with people that you connect with, and raids gets done quicker and more efficiently, and it's a much more streamlined process. I wouldn't say it's necessarily more enjoyable, but the risks of it being unpleasant is obviously less.
Exactly.
Right. However, some of the moments I missed was when you would just be a +1 on a raid. You've never raided with these people before. You don't know who they are. They're a different time slot as you. And then suddenly, someone you don't know, they're like, wow, this guy's like, he just knows everything. He just takes you a new way of doing something. And that was always enjoyable. Obviously it comes with the risk of losing your temper, or someone that just doesn't get it, or they start trolling, which is an event in itself. But that is, I think with this new raid, I already experienced it a little bit. There was a time the last couple of times I did this raid, I did it kind of past midnight my time till like early hours in the morning, and I had some good times, and not so good times, but more good times than not, and that's something kind of I look forward to. It's just unfortunate that this raid's very unforgiving for that.
Yeah.
At least that's my experience so far. It's literally one mistake and it's gone.
Agreed.
Which is unfortunate, because there are people that are random, like would you would consider you've never played with before, but they're really good and they're great to play with and they're calm and it's a fantastic experience. It's just sometimes the environment causes you perhaps not to repeat it, but that shouldn't be a deterrent of the person and the people you play with. Yep, that's it. That's my memories.
All right. Like, I got a few, like, mainly when we first started playing, before the Ravens was even around, me, Private, and Inaki were doing the entire story all with each other, and every now and then, those Facebook memories you get, I don't remember who was taking the pictures, but we have a picture of our very first Guardians, like my Titan, Inaki's Hunter, and Private's Warlock as like level 6s, level 11s, and level 15s, and we got the very first like green and blue gear. And every now and then I'll see them pop up and like, hey, this is what you did, X years ago. And I'm like, shit, X years ago, and I had blue and green gear. Holy shit. And then it's like, we went from doing that to getting a bunch of people ready. And awkward. Sorry, I had There we go. Okay. I had to do all that, and getting people together. It's like I hardly can believe that we have almost 100 people, potentially 100 people, if everyone here pans out in the nest, you know. And my favorite memories are people getting to friendships. Like, makes me choke up a little. If I could cry, I totally would. But, you know, favorite memories...
I'm going to call you on that. I know you can.
No, I can't cry. What are you talking about? You never heard me cry. Shut up. Anyway, but yeah, that's essentially, you know, my favorite memories are playing with the friends that are still around, you know. We lost some good people. They aren't dead, but they just left. Which means dead to me, but, you know, in the actual sense of the word, they're not dead. All right. Well...
Destiny 1 emotes. No Titan Bros.
No, we don't get our just do it. No flexing. We gotta find something new, Rip. Yep, just stand here, just over all these skinny people in front of us. Look at that. You know, I actually saw a Titan doing what Solar's doing right now because she's a human character, and I was like, that's not realistic.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah, we don't. That's not possible. Yeah, but anyway. We're going to go ahead and move on, but, you know, thanks for the memories and sharing them, guys. But now, since Destiny 2 is out, and everyone says it's such a great game, we should share some of our pros and cons about the game compared to Destiny 1, like gripes, and, hey, this is way better than how Destiny 1 did it. And, you know what, I'll go first. I'll break the ice. I wish there was more ammo for weapons. It seems I'm always wrong about ammo. Like, I feel like they got weapons that were in Destiny 1, cut their balls off, put them in here, and, you know, I go through primary like crazy, and then when I'm done on my energy weapon, that's it. And, you know, I'm a compliment sandwich kind of guy, and since I already said Destiny 2 was a good game, and I already talked shit about the ammo, I will say that I loved how long the story was. I love there was an actual story from, like, start to finish, not like... Here's Section 1, here's Section 2, here's Section 3. You know, it didn't matter what planet I was on. The gist of it was, get to Gull and save the Traveler. It wasn't like, hey, this planet needs help, go save this planet, go save this planet. The Vex are over here, kill them. It was legit story. And that's what I'm about.
Can I make a statement on ammo?
Hey, boy, it's up, Naldo.
Yeah, it's Naldo. Sorry, I saw you guys had some room in the party, so I figured I'd hop in. I hope that's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. You're good.
I feel like ammo drops are very... they're not uniform. Because there's sometimes... I know that's never been uniform, but we were doing the gauntlet the other day in the raid, and I was Solar's buddy on one of the Cup platform, Cup for Life. And she had 800 purple ammo packs around her, always had heavy. And I did not get heavy for probably 30 minutes straight.
No, jeez.
So I don't know what the deal with that is, but I did find that it was... Sometimes I would be absolutely swimming in ammo and not have anything to do with it, and other times I would be starved for 20 minutes without getting anything.
Yeah, dude. I know the feeling.
Yeah, so I noticed last night when we were playing, obviously the last boss, Callus or whatever his name was, and I was trying to figure out this ammo situation, because you just don't have any ammo ever in that freaking last boss fight. And I noticed that if I would switch my guns, if I would go to my, what I would, the energy weapon, I would actually want to get primary. But if I went primary, I would end up getting, like, energy or heavy, or what I would call heavy. Now,
that's like jugglers on.
Yeah, all the time. I actually made that comment yesterday.
Right. Dude, but I think they actually took the juggler mechanic and put it to a full time. And then you also, when you kill a yellow bar, you're going to get heavy out of it a lot more than if you kill a normal. So it's interesting, these new mechanics.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, what about you, Solar, since you just got back?
I just got back.
You did.
What are we saying? Our favorite things so far?
Favorite things, things we like about Destiny 2 compared to 1 and the gripes we might have. So far it's been about ammo, so if you got something besides ammo, we'd love to hear it.
Can I change my answer when you said what we're gonna miss most about Destiny 1? I miss ammo synth.
There you go.
No, but I did notice that I was having much less issue getting heavy than the rest of raid group was getting. But it was only if I had a Hawthorne. If I had my Hawthorne on. If I didn't have a Hawthorne on, I wasn't getting drops. They're in the bathroom.
Drops are in the bathroom. Did you hear that, boys?
Got it.
I have to say though that with as much frustrations, and by the end of last night, I was over it. I love the raid. Love the raid. The gauntlet is my favorite part so far.
Mm-hmm. Are you out of breath because you're dancing so much, or what's going on?
Your Kaden made me dance. No, I'm out of breath because I had to run back and forth, and I'm pregnant. I have no lung capacity.
You have double lung capacity.
Yeah. Just like you have double brains.
Good point.
Yeah, double
Good
brains,
point. Hey,
double stomachs,
balls.
everything. Oh yeah.
Hey.
By the way, everyone, Solar's pregnant. Knock on wood. You know, it's been since March,
What?
but in March she wasn't. The whole baby thing, and now she's baby thing. So baby thing.
Well,
That's
that's
how it works.
knock on wood.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anything else. I did love the story. I was not a huge fan of the very last, kind of the way the story ended. I was kind of frustrated, but overall, I loved. I don't really have any complaints really
Right.
about Destiny so far, other than give me more ammo.
Yeah. Right. Anyone else have anything to say about it?
Yeah. One or two things maybe.
All right. Go ahead.
One of my biggest complaints, I sadly had to, I was sadly noticed too, is that with the sparrows, I miss my horns. I had such nice horns, the dramatic horn or just a little beep horn, and you could spam it. And now, what are you doing? You just float around with the sparrow whenever.
Yeah.
Can't even use that. It's the little things that get me down here. Overall, D2 is great. The story was really nice. Ending, as Solar said, wasn't the best. It was a little bit shortcut there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But the raid, for example, again, really great. The last part is magnificent. If you go in there for the first time, see it, and then you're just blowing your mind there. But yeah, the biggest points of critique are the ammo. Really strange sometimes. At the last part of the raid, I was struggling with ammo. I was going, doing the outside job, not to spoil for anyone who didn't see it or so. I was doing the outside job with all the gunning down and stuff. And when I came back into the main section, I just didn't have ammo for anything. All my ammo was depleted. I maybe had primary ammo, 15 shots or anything with a auto rifle. I didn't know what to do. I was running around meleeing guys, desperately trying to hang on for some ammo. But yeah.
Right on. Yeah, it seems ammo is the main issue with the game. Everything else seems to be fine. I can actually see a good thing about them not giving you a sparrow off the bat, just because the way I've noticed it since I've been playing the second and third character with and without sparrows is on your first playthrough when you didn't have a sparrow, how much more did you explore and how much more stuff did you end up doing, public events? So in a way, what they did was they pretty much forced you to go these distances so that way you'd explore more, see more, and do more. That's how I saw it. As soon as I got my sparrow, though, I was on my sparrow all the time. Screw walking. Walking's stupid. But I can
teleport.
Yeah, the fast traveling system. I loved the whole not having to sit in orbit, being able to fast travel between planets and anywhere you want to go is amazing.
I mean, look at this. Look at the freaking detail in this room. This is what I love about D2. It's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Look
something I wanted to say. There's a lot of things coming from D1 to D2. I mean, just the sheer size of it, it's incredible. It is just, look at the lost zones, lost sectors, the detail that goes in there. Even the tower, you can come back behind here. At the bottom here, there's a new monarchy thing that you can scan right up here. investigate.
What? I didn't even know that.
And like there's so many spots around here. For me, like yeah, the raid, you're gonna have these mechanical things, but one thing I kind of realized with the raid, and obviously Destiny is not just about a damn raid, and I think I somehow feel like they've given everyone a lot more to do than just like, oh, okay, end game we're just going to raid. Now there's like prestige nightfalls. There's I mean, guided games I think is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's going to add quite a, if it gets obviously launched quite well, it's going to be a very great way to play with, I mean, more of the community itself instead of just the same. But what I realized about the raid, let me just finish this before I start waffling, is with the ammo. Yeah, with the ammo thing is, I like the fact that your super actually plays a lot more of a factor now. It's like the ads that come in, like like I knew every time that I was in the chalice room, and like when we did the cycle through the signs that was called out, that you had to clear the room, and then he does his final one of his phases. It's like that's super time, right? That's like you clear out the room. And it was nice. It was really good. It's like, okay, I just focus these guys that are in immediate danger, save my ammo, then go with your super, and you clear the whole room out, which made me feel like this is my final encounter. Like I'm clearing out a whole damn room of like 20 odd ads, yellow bar, shield, doesn't matter. I'm clearing them all out, and that's just without a gun, without anything, and that's kind of nice. I like that. I feel like that's the way the Guardian should be. It should be like I want to feel like completely powerful. Yes, the gun thing is a bit frustrating because it's pew pew, but but also it forces you to obviously try and do it in one phase or two phases, which I like. I like the whole going for everything instead of like being safe. I like the like go for gold instead of like second or third. You know, exactly. I like that aspect of the part. And it gets progressively harder the longer you wait, which I also like. Like stop messing around, get it on the first or second try. I like that aspect. But yeah, it's still only 2 weeks, so we'll see.
Yeah, boy.
I've got a few things I really like about Destiny 2 so far, if we got no one else.
Yeah, go ahead.
Plate. So, one thing I really like is the lack of bounties. The fact that everything has kind of been moved to these challenges that you can go to a planet to do some public events and then pop open your ghost and see, okay, well, I can do this, this, and this to kind of get my challenges done here. And you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go back to the tower. You don't have to go anywhere to complete these rewards. Which I think is really nice, because how many times from Destiny 1 did you say, oh shit, I forgot my bounties, I forgot my shit.
Yep.
I gotta go back to the tower. Okay, now I can go back to the planet. Oh, we got to go to this planet to do this one specific bounty. Like, you don't have to do that anymore. You can just load into a planet and pull up your ghost and see, oh, okay, I can do this and this here, and I can go over here and do a public event. Oh, I can grab this lost sector because I need to do that while I'm over here. And I thought that was a really, really nice upgrade from what we had to deal with back in and especially remember like the launch of Destiny 1 with how bad patrols were.
Oh,
and
God.
You only had like 6 slots for them, and they were offering, and even towards the end of D2 or D1, where we had bounties in 3 different social spaces that you had to swing between.
Yeah.
And that got really annoying real fast. So I'm happy that we don't have to deal with that.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
2 is like coming from a player who mostly does PvE stuff. I love the time. I love that you can't be super safe, and you can't just you can't crouch in a corner and shoot at a boss in a nightfall for 40 minutes while you wait for him to die. Like, you have to get out there and do it. You can't play a raid where you just have somebody die and you keep on resing them because you only get 1 res per person. Like, it forces you to not play super safe while forcing you to also do the mechanics right. Like, there's no more cheesing it and letting somebody die and sit there dead for the rest of the fight because, someone's dead for more than 30 seconds, everybody else is dead. I just think that's a really good change, and coming from, we did Draco Draco Crack and I did a level 300 strike last night for this raid weapon, and that shit was hard. I realized that right now our current light is capped at like 350, I think the highest is, or like current power. But we had people that were just shy of 300. I think Crack was at 297, Draco was at 297, and I was at like 293, 294. And that was challenging. We finished with like maybe 30 seconds left on the clock.
Wow.
It is no joke, and I'm liking that. If that's how endgame content is going to be for even, we never had stuff that was that hard in Destiny 1. And sure, it might have been challenging or annoying, but like this stuff was like, you better know where you're going. You better coordinate your, like it was one where our gear was locked from the start. So like we had to coordinate what we wanted to do. We had to coordinate who was going to have what burns on what weapons, and it was non-stop. We have to do this now for, I don't know, 20 minutes straight, 25 minutes straight, and we finished with just enough time on the clock. I'm really enjoying where they took PvE in D2 versus where it was.
It feels like it's not a grind anymore.
I mean,
it's just a game. It's a game we've always wanted. It's no longer you're not feeling like you're grinding for something.
I saw somebody post on Reddit, and it was a review of Destiny 2, and the main thing that everybody was saying was Destiny 2 feels like Destiny 1 without the bullshit. And
May I hop in here?
Yeah, go for it.
No, you just finished. You finished.
No, that's it. No, it was just Destiny 2 is Destiny 1 without the bullshit. Without it's just a bunch of quality of life changes on top of fresh PvP, fresh PvE content with new rules, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, here I gotta say, like, I like the grindy part in D1. It feels a little bit too easy to level up here. Like in the first few days, I already saw most of the people. I looked at the leaderboards and I saw a ton of people at about 280, 290, and I was up there too, and so I decided to make a new character, and at the same day the character was at 280, I think, but that's because of the gear I gave, like the weapons, and here's the point that I actually like about it, so it makes it a little bit less cheesy for getting out of the grind. Like in D1 you could just put over some gear you didn't want anymore on a new character, infuse it all, and the character was ready to go at your max light, even though it wasn't the same class. Like you had a warlock before. At say 400 you make a hunter, give him some gear, and he's at 400 too. Here it's pretty nice that you can't infuse the same stuff. Like you can't use warlock bonds to put it into a hunter cape. You can still put over the weapons, but those two are also only within their own archetypes. Like you can only do submachine and submachine, but not auto rifle submachine. It's pretty nice. It gives it a little bit of a grind back that you had in D1. But even though the loot system also is pretty well done at the moment, I've got some issues. Like I've been grinding for this goddamn Cabal scout rifle for 2 days straight, and I've been getting a ton of exotic engrams, but I think I got like 4 Wardcliff coils, 4 times these transversus steps for my warlock. This helmet I'm wearing, Eye of Another World, I got like 3 times, and like there are so many exotics that I could get that are possible to get, but maybe it's just bad luck. But to me at the moment it feels like they should have put in some kind of system to prevent too many duplicates, because it feels to me a little bit like the D1 grind when you just have to hope that you get what you want. Like in Vault of Glass days, you hope that you get the right light level, and here at the moment I just feel like I hope that I get the right exotic, but it takes ages to do so.
Right.
Yeah, they have definitely gone. I don't know if they're still working on it or what it is, but every time I get any kind of legendary, it's the exact same thing that I already have, and it's
Yeah.
just a lower light level, so it's kind of frustrating. Like I've gotten one of my arms on my Titan like 6 times now out of my exotics, and it's getting really annoying. But one little thing that I'll pass this off and move to the next topic. Kind of go off of what Naldo was saying. With these in-game content, like you can't carry anymore. You can't be like in D1 where that one guy he can just kind of lay over to the side. You can we'll shoot this guy once in a while. Like if you don't do your part, like there's no way nobody's getting through that raid. So I think it's gonna kind of whittle out people. It's gonna be there like, okay, well yeah, you're not gonna be a raider. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do that. And people are actually gonna take the time to legitimately learn this game, or else they're just not going to be able to get through anything.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be some good things about that and some bad things, especially in the capacity that me and Private and Anaki are in terms of you get those people who expect to be carried through because maybe they're not that strong of a game player or they're just used to being carried. This game, I'm glad there's no way to easily go through the Nightfall. I mean, I, for one, hate the timed gameplay. I hate it.
Oh, yeah.
I hate it. I hate being timed. Don't rush me. Fuck you. But again, if you don't take away that, if you take away that time thing, then you get those people who's like, I'm just gonna sit in the back while you two do all the work. It's silver lining, but I enjoy the fact that most of the game content will not have one person be able to sit in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you'll get those people who want to get carried, and it's just not gonna happen. You practice, get good, and when you get good, you get gooder, and then when you get gooder, you do things. So,
well, because that entails leads into teaching other people, because that's the foundations when I first came into this was you had to do a raid, you had to show the bosses or you guys that you knew what you were doing. And bosses. You're not going to be the guy who gets carried and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and then there's so many people that teach here. So like, we used to have all those things with Mike. You could go and actually do like raid studies or whatever they were called, and you actually learn a lot about it. And I think that's probably what's going to happen here too. You have a lot of people that are going to learn the heck out of it and then teach it, and then make better ravens.
Yeah.
My only fear is that towards the end of D2, I ran into a lot of people who, whatever it was called, Wrath of the Machine had been out for 6, 7, 8 months.
Oh, for D1?
And yeah, and D1, and people still did not, it gets to a point where, sure, the raid is new now, and, people aren't going to mind walking people through what to do and how to do the raid and how to, what the new burns or what the new perks on the Nightfall are and how to do the current stuff now. But I mean, I'm just afraid it's going to get to a point where 8, 9 months down the road, well, probably not that long because we'll get some expansions and stuff, but still, towards the end of this current content where people are still going to be expecting to be able to go into a raid and have no knowledge of how to do the fights, or go into a Nightfall and not know what the the perks are. Sure, it's good and all. It's that's not your thing, but it's going to get to a point where people aren't going to want to do content with you if it's still that late in the game.
I want to say something.
And they have to worry about. They have to go for it. But they have to worry about. They have to worry about okay, we're getting to the dogs, and people are going to say, all right, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Stuff like that is going to turn people off from ratings. So I don't know how we go about fixing that, but I just know it's happened with every tier of content where we get to a point in the expansion where a lot of people do know what they're doing and what they should be doing, but then there's still that group of people that think, oh, okay, I can just sign up for this raid, but I've never done it before, but I'm not going to do any research on the fights. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, and on the same coin, oh, sorry, Rip, go ahead.
No, but I'll just say it quickly. It's also, I think what I agree there with Nora, and it's interesting that he noticed it, because I saw from okay, granted, I wasn't a year 1 player. I got Destiny at the end of year 1, and so I missed Vault of Glass and Crota. And what I saw with the Taken King was that the raid was very mechanic based, and everyone had to do their part, but you could have been carried, really. You could have stuck someone in a bubble for the Oryx fight and it would have been fine. I remember memories where one guy died and we just finished it with 5. That was not an issue. Like 1 Titan in the middle and other 4 in play. And 3 on a plate and a floater, I think. But anyway, the thing is, what happened with the Wrath of the Machine was that everyone had to carry their weight. Everyone had to. You had to do your call-outs, everyone had to. Otherwise, there was an issue, right? And here with this fight, I think here it's even more so. Like, you cannot... And you can see very quickly who are the people that take the time out of their life to learn. And, I mean, this is a video game, but it's... I mean, look around in this world. It's designed by people that are highly intelligent, and it is obviously based on math, right? So there's certain understandings of game mechanics and mathematical multipliers when you're doing damage. So yeah, what I think, it's one or two things. You're either going to have to implement a certain stricter code where there's going to be certain people that are allowed to tell other Ravens how to raid, and I know that hasn't gone over in the past, or you're just going to let it be, and those people that are not going to do the effort is going to fall out. But at what expense, right? Are they going to make the time that other people are taking to raid unpleasant, or what is going to happen? So either way, it's going to arrive to the same conclusion, right? You're going to figure out who the people are that's going to do it properly and who are not.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
It's just how you, I guess, how you make and implement that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this raid is going to... It was hard, man.
A point I wanted to bring up, in relation to that, I actually just saw Cadre mention it about the Raven way when we do raids. So, you know, when Mike made those videos and stuff, it was basically the easiest way to get this certain section done. And first and foremost, yeah, you get those people, you'll find out who just want to be carried. Those people tend to get ostracized, and you don't see people signing up when those people sign up for raids. Like, I've seen it
you will see
the past
people pull
3
their
years.
name off.
Yep. If if a person's known for not being able to pull their own, not because they're not trying, if you're really giving it your effort, and you're really interested in learning a new spot, or you're just known to do that one thing, that can make the difference between if your list is going to get full or not. And I've seen people leave for it too. It's like, oh, no one plays with me. It's like, well, maybe if you didn't rely on those other people to get things done, maybe if you put a little bit more effort into doing it, or hey, we have this video out and it literally shows you in every spot what to do, and you didn't even take the time to look at it. I mean, how are people going to react to that if you didn't take the initiative to learn how to do a certain section of the raid? People aren't going to want to play with that kind of lazy. Playing with lazy sucks. We're all gamers.
Yeah.
We're known to be lazy, but not in research. I mean, come on. But
yeah, I mean that's for me. I'm always gonna have a soft spot for someone that wants to do it, and because I was that myself. Like you guys did that favor for me, and it still sticks with me. You talk about what I miss and what I remember. That's it. Like I know how bad I suck. Oh my god. But I would venture to say, like, it was a remarkable improvement from that moment to here, and I know that I've returned that favor because I've heard what people have said, and yes, I have also been to a point where I've lost my temper at people. So it's a limit, right? That's the thing with this. Like, you can help, but it gets a lot. It can get a lot. So perhaps a rotation, like people want to, because I mean, I don't think it shouldn't be an elitist thing, right? But it is just, there's a limit to everything. And I think also the people that are good, let's not ruin the good characters of the people that are here, right? By forcing them to be overly nice, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just know for me personally, it got to a point where I couldn't raid anymore at the end of D1 because there was just too many times where I'd go in and 4 or 5 people would have no clue what to do in the raid after it being out for, you know, and this was like Age of Triumph stuff, so this is raids that have been out for well over 2 years at this point. And sure, they made some changes, but I don't know, it's just, personally, it burned me out of the game really fast, and I'm afraid that with raids taking the step that they are, where they're becoming more and more, where you need, like, let's be honest, Vaulted Glass was a cakewalk the first time through. You could have 6 people stand on a ledge and just shoot at oracles, and that negated like one of the hardest parts of the game. You can have one warlock get up and push Atheon off the edge for the first couple months that raid was out.
Yep.
But the raids now have become more
team-based.
They've become what they've always needed to be.
Yeah, it's mechanical based. Like, you need to do, like, people have to do stuff very precisely, and if you get people who just don't care enough to learn what they have to do and just expect to be carried through, it's just gonna turn a lot of people off from raiding.
Well, here guided games would be pretty nice, I imagine, since it's out now. Me and I think it was, who was it? Night. I just missing the last part of the name.
Night?
Yeah, I think so. We did the Nightfall guided games as soon as it was available, just to see how it works out, and it was pretty nice. Like, you can just go in there and search for third person, or let yourself be found, since we were the one giving the guidance here. And even though it says you should have a mic, the other chap was just being quiet, didn't even have a mic, I think, and we were still having fun. Like, it went pretty well. We went to the end, but it wasn't what I would have thought guided games would be. But I imagine if guided games starts for the raid, where you actually have to have a mic in order to make it happen, I think guided games could come in really good. Either you, as Bungie itself themselves said, you could get new friendships going, like meet a cool person in guided games who hangs out with your clan, and may even join up in the end and have a good time. Or you could actually be of guidance and help them through the raid. Like, maybe it's a first timer, or he doesn't really know too much, and he or she didn't watch videos because they want to have it spoiled, and you can go in there with that person and really help them through. Like, tell them, hey, here, you got to do that, and yes, it may take some time. You could lose your cool, but that's with most raids, that can happen. And I think it's pretty healthy for the community and for clans, because you really learn how to work together, help people out who may not be the best at raiding, but still have to pull their own, especially with this raid, as you've mentioned all. And that's going to be real fun, I think. I'm looking forward to as soon as guided games comes out for the raid.
Okay. Deal. Alright, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and move on. We got one more thing to talk about before I open the floor. So we got a new Destiny parody channel, which is probably a good way to explain the lack of parodies on the Ravens of the Realm account. If you look at another channel, the Ravens are still making music videos over on the new channel, youtube.com/the Deathsingers. They're busy playing through Destiny 2 and are brainstorming songs for the awesome sequel. In the meantime, head over to their channel. Once again, it's youtube.com/the Deathsingers. That's one word. And check out what they have so far. And from what I've heard, they'll be recording an original thank you song when they reach 10,000 subs. So go ahead and head on over there and hit that like and subscribe button on their videos, because most of their stuff's really good. Actually, all their stuff's really good. So they have a few things out. Yeah, so basically the only things that are going to get posted over on the Ravens channel are funny moment vids, random moment vids. I'm going to try to get some things from other Ravens, so that way to keep our channel currently alive. But definitely head over to the Deathsingers, check them out. They're working hard, they're doing good stuff. And if you don't have their music on your phone already, I'm sorry, because I do. Get out of here. Alright, anyway, anyone else have anything open? Open floor? Anything else to say besides something disparaging towards me? Val, shut the fuck up.
You can't do that,
I
and
just
then
shut you off.
you can't
Yeah.
give me the opportunity and then
Yeah.
take it immediately away.
No.
I will say this: I spent a lot of time in the tower in D1, and I really enjoyed the space it provided. But here, I can't tell you how much I'm in love with this new social space. It is my favorite place to be out of any part in the entire game. It is every single little bit of it I enjoy, and not only just finding little bits of items to investigate, and that's not just here, but that's everywhere in the game, which is also pretty cool. But I'm really excited to see this flourish more. I'm excited to see the factions come back and when that provides. I mean, I want more here, and I think they really did a fantastic job in creating this space. And I don't know, that makes me really happy. I think that may be my new favorite thing in the entire game is the new tower. It's also enormous.
I think that's also one of my gripes.
Really? That's also that's fair. That's fair.
No, because
you have to walk halfway around the place to get to something.
Yeah, well, no, I just think they hyped up the farm so much, and granted, I know they can't say we're bringing the tower back because it's like a major story spoiler and how we get back to here and everything.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you haven't beaten the game, don't watch this, obviously. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
Oh, good. Good spoiler alert. Good spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry.
It's been out for more than a week. You have your own self to blame if you haven't beaten it yet.
Show the traveler, no problem.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
So I just feel like and while they couldn't go out and just say, hey, we're bringing the tower back, don't worry, they did hype up the farm a lot.
They did.
And
yeah,
halfway through the story, it becomes utterly useless. Like, I was hanging out at the farm the other day, and I just see people coming in. They pick up their sturm because you have to go to the cryptard at the farm. And then they leave, and that's it. The only people that I saw, like, I was just hanging out there for 30-40 minutes just dicking around, and there isn't anybody that goes and hangs out there. People don't do the strike commander thing. Like, they show up, they get their sturm, and then they leave. And I hope that eventually, like, I saw some Reddit posts saying, like, oh, they should make the farm into a clan social space where you can join in with all of your clan members. Or, I feel like they have to do, yeah, like, can you imagine if you just had a social space where there was 30 or 40 ravens hanging out?
Right.
That'd be great.
God, more of you guys in one spot? Fuck.
Or, like, I don't know, I just feel like they underutilized the farm after the Vanguard heads back to the tower and after the story's over. Like, the only person there is a couple robots and Tyra Banks.
Banks?
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. I hope that while I do love the new tower, I hope that the farm continues to get some
Think about
sort
hide
of
and seek in the farm.
I know. It would be great. I just wish I had more of a reason to go there because there's literally nothing.
Yeah, they did. They hyped the crap out of that.
Well, I mean, but they had to because they literally couldn't say where else we would be going. Like, they could not say you're going back to the tower because the tower is blown up. Like, we don't know what happens with the tower, so we have to go to the farm. But I just wish that they did more with it.
Oh, they probably will.
Yeah, and if you look up at this cool tower that we're in, and you look up to the old tower, progressively we're going to end up down on the street because it just keeps getting lower and lower. So that's something to look at.
Destiny 4 will have to be at the farm.
Yeah, we'll be in the streets next, and then Destiny 4 will be at the farm. Yeah, Destiny 5 will be underwater. Destiny 6 will be at the core.
Well, way to spoil the whole, saga for me.
Hey, man, I got the in. I know everyone that works on this fucking game.
Well, this feels kind of like a rift to me with the farm.
Yeah.
It just has like really nothing. Well, I mean, it has everything to do with the game, but it's like back on memories just real quick. Destiny's like a huge soft spot because without Destiny, I wouldn't know any of you. And Rev and Private and all those guys especially, like I can't even count how many times that, for Christ's sake, I've met with Rev in real life to get picked up from the air, flying halfway across the country all the time, and it's been awesome. So for that, obviously, I thank you guys.
Yeah.
And we've always had a blast every time we get together. I mean, Raven Cons are amazing. I haven't won yet, obviously, because I've been always away, but, you know, I look forward to the next one, because next year's in Dallas, and I will be there. Yeah, I don't care if I got to ride my bicycle.
I thought it was RavenCon and all these parents' house. Is that not happening?
we didn't know how to break the news to you, but no.
Yeah, sorry, bud.
Can that be like a mid-RavenCon to your house?
Yeah. Next weekend, guys, come on up.
Yeah, we definitely, like...
Sometime I will come over, maybe, possibly.
Yeah,
probably not.
Well, yeah, I mean, thanks for reminding me, because I completely forgot. So, RavenCon this year was in Minnesota, right? Yeah, that's how the locals say it. You know, it was actually pretty nice. You know, me and G stomped the shit out of Private Nalinator at beer pong. G's a clutch. G and I got that clutch double cup and ended the game.
A lot of craft beers.
Actually, man, no, like Grove Monster went fucking ballistic. Bought like $400 worth of booze. I feel bad for him because barely any of it got drunk before a lot of people started getting really hammered. But you know, it was fun. You know, we ended up going tubing, drinking around a fire. One thing I will say that was really funny is I didn't take a look too much at the house pictures because we did one of those Airbnbs. We rented a house, and there were about 12 to 15 of us total. And I was like, all right, everyone's here. We did our, like, here's the rules of the house kind of thing. You know, I told people if you got arrested, you're on your fucking own. And after that, I was like, all right, everyone break. Go find your bed. Go call your bed, whatever. And the first floor and the second floor were already done. Well, I was still moving shit into the house. So I was like, well, fuck, I guess I'm sleeping on the floor or something. And then I guess somebody opened up a closet door, what was perceived as a closet door, to put their bag in. Well, we found out it was a downstairs because in the north they have basements, I guess, because in Texas they sure as fuck don't.
Yeah.
And there were like 4 mattresses on the ground, a couch, and a separate bedroom along with a separate bathroom with a shower and everything. I'm like, well, I don't need to see you fuckers ever again because everything I need is down here. So me, Grove, G, and Private just hoarded the downstairs. And I don't remember because after the first night, after we went to the Bulldog, which is Roy's stomping grounds, there was somebody on the couch. I don't know who it was. It might have been Roy, but it looked like a homeless person, so that's why I get confused.
Could be.
Yeah, but you know, RavenCon is definitely fun. I know at some points we have like 24, 25 people say they're going to go, and then life happens, they have to back out. But that's why we have more than one a year. The reason we're doing it in Dallas next year is because Private and I are really, really tired of driving.
That's fair.
Tennessee was far, Minnesota's far. We're going to host it this next year. We're going to probably end up getting another Airbnb. There we go. So that way we don't have to, you know, have people sleeping on a hardwood floor, which is what we have. So, you know, everyone in one spot, show you guys around. Maybe this year do medieval times. You know?
Yes, please. I've been begging. I've been begging for 3 years.
Legitimately why, yeah. So we'll end up doing that.
Go car
this time we won't do CrossFit. I refuse to do CrossFit.
No, I'm not coming to take vacation and work out. Y'all are
okay.
Hey, you know what? It was something to do. I never did it before. I impressed myself, but the rest of the day I was sore and miserable. So, yeah, so that's it. So that's
I would like to point out that my reason for backing out of RavenCon was the fact that I thought I might need to buy a car. And let the record show, the day before RavenCon, I had to take $6,000 cash out of the bank and buy a new car. Because my car blew up like 5 days before I would have left for RavenCon.
Bruh, you made the right call, though.
I mean, take care of your business.
Like,
we don't want people. We
I
definitely don't want people putting themselves in a hole.
We don't want people.
We don't want people.
That's where you stop.
The universe demands it.
Exactly. But that.
All I'll say is the RavenCon after that one. I know Solar and I are hardcore about Asheville, man.
Asheville.
So that's all. I'm gonna leave that there. and I'll say I'll bring it up maybe a day.
Whoever said Asheville, I'm good because that whole fucking place burnt down. I'm glad we didn't go there.
It didn't?
I did.
No, it's still there. Actually, I'm gonna have to pull some magic because I have a friend who has a huge, absolutely huge, massive cabin in the woods, and I need to get us up there.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah, cabin in the
woods. This place it's far beyond what you guys think. There's no dead people unless we want them to be.
Not yet.
Yeah, I think a mountain trip would be a lot of fun.
All right,
I think it just comes down to
about
us.
Go for it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Rip.
I have a question about RavenCon in Dallas.
Yeah.
For the people that might be foreign and don't know Dallas, it comes with like a free gun, right?
Yeah, As soon as you get off the plane, you get a 6-shooter and a cowboy hat.
Right? Like, yeah.
No way.
You get a gun
6-shooter and a cowboy hat. Yeah, they don't give you ammo though. I mean, that's the thing. They don't want loaded guns in the airport.
But
when you leave,
like when you buy shots of whiskey, right? Don't you get like a
shot of whiskey comes with 6 rounds for a 9mm.
Exactly.
A shot comes with 6 shots. That's Remember that. Every one shot you get 6 shots.
Yeah, Rip, if you show up, just let me know what gun you want, I'll bring one.
Yeah.
I can see why you guys live there.
So what we'll end up doing, so RavenCon 2018 is set in Dallas. And there we'll talk about 2019, because I plan on keep doing them. There were ideas that I had thrown around, other people have thrown around, like Naldo's parents' house, or perhaps a cruise.
I'm saying, we got bedrooms, everybody can have their own bedroom, and we'll have 4 bathrooms, like...
Right.
We got the space.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip the year that we do a cruise.
Alrighty.
We do cruises.
Alrighty.
Honestly, we don't want tornado season.
Right. Well, everyone, I want to
do a storm
thank you.
chasing adventure.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I want to thank you all for joining me.
Are you gonna open the floor for
I thought that wasn't that open?
Questions?
Weren't we just doing open floor?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
Do you have an open floor?
Do you have an open floor? You should get that checked out.
No, I was just wondering.
No, I didn't.
Make sure that people in the chat didn't, or in the Twitch chat didn't have questions.
But you know what I forgot to do?
What?
Introductions! Hi, I'm ReverendMurder, and with me we have Valyron, Habeda, Jfire, Ripnerd, Solar, and Naldo.
Hey!
I'm gonna try to edit this in front of
Lady party.
in front of the stuff, but I'm not private, I'm not perfect. Get off my dick. So
Continuity.
with that, since I just gave you the introductions, I'm gonna go ahead and end the town hall. Well, thank you for joining us for the 31st town hall. Miami for RavenCon 2020. Shit, is it still there?
Wait, what's today?
Today is Sunday.
The 18th.
The 17th.
For me.
The
17th. 17th for us.
It's the 18th.
On Tuesday
it's
is
Monday.
the Raven's 3rd birthday.
What? Like Tuesday? Like Reset Tuesdays? Like Ravens turned 3 years old?
Reset Tuesday, yeah.
Woo! Okay, I'm setting up an event for that. All right. So it'll be planned for that Friday.
And it's really big. It involves 6 people and a lot of horrible yelling and screaming.
Does it involve Uno? I want an Uno night.
Well, maybe.
I'll play Uno with you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!